So, are you looking for a relatively quick, fast, and definitely easy and totally easy on the budget, perfect for bare bones time of the month dessert? Well, you're in the right place. So, I came across a recipe. It kind of looked like it needed a little tweak, in my opinion. How many of you out there enjoy vanilla pudding? So good, right? And here's the beauty part. The beauty part, it does not require eggs. And actually, I tried this in the past and it was quite good. And they usually say that when you make certain puddings that you need to have whole milk or whatever. At that time, I actually used it with, I only had low fat milk in my possession at that moment. And I made it with the low fat milk and it was pretty darn good anyway. So I'm going to mention this recipe to you. The original recipe instead of sugar, it says to use honey, but I used sugar when I had made it, and it was pretty darn good. So if you're interested, here you go. Okay, all you're going to need are 4 tablespoons of good old cornstarch. Before I get into the recipe, if there's any ingredient to keep in your active pantry or even to store in your stockpile, it is cornstarch. It comes in so handy as a thickener. It is natural, 0 calories as far as I'm concerned. I think it doesn't have any calories, but it works so well. And to make homemade puddings, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to make homemade pudding. So let's get back to what you're going to need for the vanilla pudding. And by the way, if you prefer to make a, what do you call it, a chocolate pudding, you could use 4 to 5 tablespoons of cocoa. All right. But I wanted vanilla at that time, and I remember it this way. So you're going to need 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, excuse me, 2 cups of milk. And yes, you can actually swap out even like almond milk. But if you have, regular dairy milk, that's fine. 2 cups of milk, 3 to 4 capfuls of vanilla. It doesn't have to be or it does not have to be pure vanilla extract. If you have imitation vanilla, it works just as well in the recipe. Just saying, just saying. Okay. I used 3 tablespoons of sugar. The original recipe required honey. I'm sorry, but I never had vanilla pudding with honey in it. So I always use sugar. So in my case, I had utilized about 3 tablespoons of sugar. Maybe you want a little bit more. It's up to you. Maybe I wouldn't go past 4 tablespoons of the sugar and a pinch of salt. So what are you going to do? So basically, you're just going to, into a pot, to basically add your cornstarch, and then you're going to gradually add the milk, okay? And you're going to mix it together with a whisk. You're going to use a whisk so you avoid clumping. And then you're going to add the vanilla extract and the sugar as you go along. And then what you're going to do, once you see it like hit boiling, right away lower that down to a medium heat. And then once you get to the medium heat, you're going to continuously stir it for a few minutes. I recommend somewhere anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. I usually stop at about the 4-minute point. So this is a very simple, very inexpensive recipe. I bet my bottom dollar that most people listening to this show, you could probably look in your cupboard and find cornstarch, vanilla, and the milk and the sugar. Like I said, the original recipe, not mine, the original recipe asked to use honey. How many of you out there have ever made this with honey? I have never made vanilla pudding with honey. I mean, maybe it's good, but I just didn't want to work with the honey. So instead, I worked with the sugar. And then basically what you do once you're done with that, of course, you remove it. Then you carefully pour it into some, glasses or mugs. And then you let that set in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. Now, unlike most people, I like my pudding warm. I know it sounds crazy. Most people love it ice cold. But, natural puddings that you make from scratch, I don't mind that warm. So I just thought I'd mention this. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention this little bare bones. Says, get on YouTube and mention it to your viewers. They may appreciate it And it is so easy to make and so very, very low cost. There you go. All right. Come back tomorrow morning. I prepared a little fun quiz that will be uploaded at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. Just saying, just saying. And yes, I also recorded a show with Steve on the Everywhere with Steve Young channel, and that will air tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 in the afternoon. He's going to have a premiere and a live chat at that time. So I just thought I'd mention a bunch of stuff for you. Good luck. Hey, if you make this, let me know if you like it, and have a wonderful evening. Take good care, everyone. Good night.